Welcome to Awaken with Marissa M. A former employee at the Harvard Medical School morgue has been charged with selling human remains from donated bodies and allowing buyers to choose which parts they wanted, according to federal prosecutors. The morgue's manager, Cedric Lodge, was part of a massive nationwide network that bought and sold human remains stolen from the university's medical school. From 2018 to 2022, Lodge and his wife, Denise Lodge, stole the corpse, removed parts such as the head, brain, skin, and bones, and sold them to their accomplices. They would also allow their buyers to come into the morgue and pick whichever parts they had their eye on. Two deans from Harvard Medical School told students in a statement that Lodge and his accomplices acted independently and no one else on campus knew of what was going on. We are appalled to learn that something so disturbing could happen on our campus. A community dedicated to healing and serving others, the dean wrote in their statement. The reported incidents are a betrayal of HMS, and most importantly, each of the individuals who generously chose to will their bodies to HMS through the anatomical gift program to advance medical education and research. Okay, August, the question is to you first. Would you consider donating your body to science?
I never thought about this, to be honest, but I personally would not do that.
And my next,
But like
oh,
thinking
sorry.
about just like
Mm-hmm.
the article and what might happen to your body, I feel like, I don't know, I want to be like rest in peace in a grave or somewhere. And also I feel like for a family.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Thank you, August. And I'm going to ask Anna, same question to you. Would you consider donating your body to science, and why or why not?
Um, I have not, thought about that. I know, like on your license, you can be a donor. And I kind of agree with August that, I am of the opinion and just historically, my family, even being cremated is not a real thing. Like for us, we believe in, kind of having that whole body go to the grave. And so donating my body or any of my family members' body to science, well, I think it's a noble thing, because I know that that does save lives. Personally, it's not something that I would choose. And then if I did do that and to learn that that would have happened to, of course I wouldn't know, but to my body or a loved one's body, you know, that's just double jeopardy. I that would destroy me. So
Okay,
yeah, I would not do it. And this is kind of as far left as it can possibly get as to the reasons why I would not. But it definitely probably reaffirms my position on it.
thank you, Anna, so much. And then I'm going to ask Mike, would you consider donating your body to science?
I certainly wouldn't donate my body to HMS or Harvard right now. Harvard's supposed to be, the standard in the United States and in the world for, academic research. And I think it's really a travesty that people thought that they could donate their body and it would help in research. And then you have somebody who's obviously got no conscience, who's dealing in this kind of black market selling of body parts. It's ghoulish and it's crazy. Yeah. So I think it really hurts the cause of people who would donate their body when they see this kind of craziness happen, and you don't know where your body parts are gonna. Not that it matters to you, but I'm sure it matters to your family. That they can end up in a freak show or any number of other places. So it's really what a terrible crime that is. And no, I wouldn't donate my body parts to Harvard. And I would think, I am an organ donor, but I would think real carefully about making sure the specifics of where my organs will go has to be answered. I want to know that if my liver is going somewhere and somebody can use it to save their life, that's what happens, as opposed to it getting sent to some crazy weird museum, or having somebody with some kind of freakish desire to play with human body parts. I mean, these are the things I wouldn't want to happen. So yeah, this is a big blow to the cause of people donating their bodies to science.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike, and thank you, everyone. So we're going to move on to the next topic. 2 American bodies were found in their room at a Mexican resort on June 13th. They died from inhaling toxic gas, according to officials' initial findings. All right. The couple, identified as 41-year-old John Heathcote and 28-year-old Abby Lutz of California, had reportedly been dead between 10 and 11 hours before being discovered in their room at the oceanfront Hyatt Rancho Pescadero Hotel in El Pescadero, Mexico. The cause of death was ruled as the intoxication of an unspecified gas substance that local officials, as of Saturday, were still looking to determine. In an interview with Good Morning America, one of the paramedics who arrived on the scene to treat Heathcote and Lutz claimed that he and a colleague immediately experienced dizziness after entering the room. The hotel manager claimed that there was no gas leak of any kind in the hotel. Current and former employees at the luxury resort told the Los Angeles Times that managers ignored possible signs of gas leaks for months and had disabled carbon monoxide alarms in the hotel because they were disturbing guests. They knew there were problems with gas leaks, said a former night manager at the resort who stopped working at the resort in March after a dispute over pay. Everyone was aware of the alarms and that the detectors were off. 3 current employees confirmed that the detectors were disabled and claimed management ignored for months complaints of strong gas smells from guests and employees, and that just days prior, a housekeeper fell ill while cleaning the room where the 2 Americans were found dead. Hyatt officials previously denied suspicions the deaths were related to gas leaks, but did not comment on claims from current and former workers. Mike, and who, in your opinion, is responsible for this couple's death?
Let me just get that on. I think Hyatt's responsible for their death, and they're the big corporation, and I think they're a U.S. corporation. And I know a lot of people go on vacations in this area of Mexico because it's relatively inexpensive, and they have a lot of luxury hotels, but it's just not worth it, to get the better price, because you could see this hotel not only is not following regulations and laws, it's also concealing the danger from tourists who are coming in there, and they expect it's a safe place to go, let alone one where they could die from poisonous gas. So that is that's tantamount to like manslaughter or almost murder. And Hyatt is the big name there, and you could probably sue them in the United States, but I would sue everyone connected with that hotel. And it sounds like the people who work there are willing to tell the truth because they've been telling it to the media about everyone knew the danger except the people who were most at danger, which were the tourists. So it won't save their lives suing Hyatt and the rest of those folks, but that hotel is entirely responsible.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. And I'm going to ask Anna. Anna, who, in your opinion, is responsible for this couple's death?
I agree with Mike. I think it's clear that Hyatt is completely negligent. I mean, if you've had employees and housekeepers saying that, they felt dizzy, or, even the paramedics, I think, kind of substantiate that there was something there, then, there's no one else that I think the responsibility lies with except for the Hyatt. And, I heard about this case, and my family and I are actually going on vacation next week. And I got to tell you, that same night that I heard this, I immediately jumped on Amazon and purchased a carbon monoxide detector, like a portable one, because it kind of freaked me out that much. Because the most beautiful thing, a vacation, right? And in Mexico turns into something like that. Because this isn't the first time I've heard about something like that happening. But absolutely, Hyatt is liable.
I love that when you said that you like ran over to Amazon, because I've heard of stories like this before too for the last couple of years. And my sister and I did say that when we do go on vacation, we're gonna have to buy like a carbon monoxide like detector or whatever else is on the market, whatever other gases or whatever, and just like bring it with you in your suitcase and then put it in the hotel room. So that's very smart. We had that idea too, because I am starting to hear these stories like kind of come up more and more. So that's a good point. Thank you. Let me see. And then I'm going to ask August, who in your opinion is responsible for this couple's death?
I mean, I'm totally agreeing to Mike and is it Anna? Yeah. Anna's opinion. I also lived one time with a gas heating, and I did have like full control over it. So I did have like a little detector, and I feel like it's really, really important to have those when you have such a heating installed in your house. And regarding to the article, it was all over in the media in the last couple of weeks or days, sorry. And I feel like there has to be some consequences for the hotel, like for the whole chain, basically, and basically just some way of acknowledgement for the families. Because on the other way, like just think about, you just send over like your brother or sister or sibling, and you were just in the opinion that they were just going on a vacation. Basically, they're never gonna come back. I can't imagine that, to be honest.
Thank you so much, August, and everyone. So we're going to discuss the last topic. A woman on TikTok shared the fallout from handing in her 2-week notice to her employer. She fully expected to finish the projects that she was working on, but was in for a big surprise. I think I got fired today. After I gave my 2 weeks notice, she handed in her resignation on a Wednesday, letting her boss know that her last day would be 2 weeks from then. According to her, by Friday, she was called into her project manager's office to give more details on why she had chosen to leave her job. She didn't go into exactly why she had opted to leave her position, but was caught off guard when at the end of the conversation, her supervisor told her that she didn't need to work through her notice period since she'd only been on the job for 6 or 7 weeks. He advised her that her last day would be that day. She was confused and responded by asking about the work in progress that she had at the time. I haven't finished all of my work yet, she told him, to which he replied, I don't care, Angela can do it. Since leaving, the former employee has come to TikTok to give other people who might be ready to quit their job a word of advice. Make sure that you have an emergency fund before you quit. She closed the video by telling viewers that she was about to email her boss and ask for severance. So I'm going to ask August first. August, do you agree or disagree with the employer for asking this employee to leave earlier than she planned?
I mean, it's really hard to tell if she can't even explain her decision. I feel like it's some point valid, but on the other side, I feel like there are like some restrictions to the 2 weeks period, right? I mean, that's also for the safety for the employers. So, but I do agree with them. I mean, if I would be in the position of them, yeah, you're almost like you have to let her go basically immediately because you're not gonna pay her anymore, right?
Okay, and my next question to you is, have you ever been asked to leave a position immediately after giving notice to your employer?
No, no, never. No. I only left the job on my terms earlier, but I still had like some holidays. So we managed to communicate, and I feel like that's the most important part of the whole story, communicate and talk about issues that might have happened. And also, I do have to say, not put it on TikTok and not make it like a viral thing, because we also know with the cancel culture going on right now, it's become tricky when the business or the company's name gets published, or I have to be really careful for your own safety as well, and also for the employer's safety. So
Okay, thank you, August. And I'm going to ask Anna. Anna, do you agree or disagree with the employer asking for this employee to leave earlier than she planned?
I'm going to have to say I agree that they probably just wanted to wash their hands of that situation. I mean, I think when you get people who want to put things on social media, you just have to kind of clean your hands of that situation. I think that, her message or advice to people probably should have been, don't put your intentions of leaving your employer or quitting your job on social media. Not, oh, make sure you plan in enough time. How about just not putting it on there at all? I mean, that kind of doesn't make sense. And you never know who has social media and who talks. And as August said, like the cancel culture. But I don't think that was a smart move. And so from an employer standpoint, I probably would have severed ties as quickly as I could have as well.
Okay. And have you ever been asked to leave a position immediately after you gave your notice to an employer?
No, I have not had that experience. Now, I have been laid off probably like a lot of people, but you had time notice like, hey, it's going to be 3 months, 6 months and a severance. But no, that really kind of adds insult to injury, I think. And usually it's because something really heinous has gone on. I have been one of the people who's had to escort a person out, for sure. But I have never had that personal experience, thankfully.
Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna ask Mike. Mike, do you agree or disagree with the employer asking for this employee to leave earlier than she planned?
I disagree. I think that it's first of all, I think as both August and Anna said, I think it's really tricky when you put your work or any kind of personal business out there on social and particularly TikTok. So I think that just for being professional, you shouldn't do that. And then I think we got to be wary as human beings. Any kind of business we put out there can boomerang in our face. But I don't know where we got the 2 week notice sort of courtesy, where that evolved from. But sometimes I think it's a one-way street. I think employees say, I better be fair, and I'm gonna do the right thing, and I'm gonna give them 2 weeks so that they can find my replacement. And then it's not always the same way with the employer, who can walk into your office at any time that they want and say, clean out your desk, you're out. So I think we're evolving into figuring out, what's going to be the fair relationship between the employer and the employee, particularly in the post-pandemic world where people are saying, I want to work virtually, and employers are now are doing all kinds of things to get people back in the office. So I think it sends a bad message to potential employees for this particular firm, that they just said, leave the office. And then who was the person? Angela. Poor Angela. She's minding her own business, apparently, from the story. And they say, don't worry about it. Angela's going to handle your work. So I think, we have to find a way to be more respectful toward each other, employer and employee. But you never want to go on social and talk about it, because now she's going to have people mad, but she's going to have people mad in both directions. And at the end of the day, she's going to be the one that she's going to suffer one way or another with her next potential job. So there's a lot done wrong on both sides here. And the young lady who's leaving the job has made a lot of mistakes. And the employer is not really being friendly. So they're both wrong.
Yes, and I like one of the points that you made when you were saying that pretty much, like, the way the employer moved, it kind of like it's a kind of like a morale thing almost for the other employees, because now it's like they're probably going to feel uncomfortable giving their 2 weeks notice, because they're like, wait, am I going to be fired immediately? It kind of creates a culture where it's like, you know what, I think I'm going to find a new job, and I'm just going to say, hey, I'm not coming back, today's my last day. And to me, it seems like it creates an environment where the employees are like, okay, it's pretty much, dog eat dog, and everybody's for themselves. So it's kind of like the formalities kind of go out the window. So I think that was a really good point. That I thought that too. So that was a good point. Thank you. And the other question I have for you is, have you ever been asked to leave your position immediately after giving notice?
Well, I usually I've been lucky when I've given notice, it's worked out. It's worked out in the right way. But let's just say that it hasn't happened to me, but I've known other people that I've worked with that were not treated nicely. And I think there's nothing more humiliating than and I know we were just talking to Anna. Anna had that experience, and she's doing it, being conscientious and helping at work. And sometimes employees really do, they're feeling emotional. But it's a real humiliating thing to see someone have to be escorted out of the office. So I have never had that particular situation. I've witnessed it, and it's just another example of things are changing. Things are changing, and I think that if we can learn in the workplace to be respectful and patient, and conscientious and loving towards each other, even in the dog eat dog world, that's going to be better for everyone. And it's going to make everybody feel more comfortable and safe, so that people don't feel all alarmed, and others, and people don't feel like we got to escort this person out. So you're going to have less of those situations when employers are respectful to employees and everybody feels like they're in a respectful environment.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike, and thank you everyone for answering. Thank you everyone for calling in and tuning in. Subscribe to our channel for more great conversations.